So, have you heard of the National Reproductive Health Policy 2022-2032? Yes, you. Come show. Also known as the RH policy, this is a commitment by the Kenyan government to all persons in need and requiring reproductive services. We are talking family planning, HIV prevention, treatment of STIs, and the likes. This policy was passed on the 5th of July 2022. But wait a minute, why are we talking about the RH policy? After the famous Gen Z Mandamano, I know all of us are familiar with the term public participation. This policy failed to uphold the principles of public participation and substantive rights to reproductive health care. Based on this, a landmark case petition 27 of 2022 against the Cabinet Secretary Ministry of Health was filed on 11 September 2022, challenging the constitutionality of the policy. The petitioners of this case are Rachel Mukali and Esther Aoko, the Adolescent and Youth Reproductive Health Program IREP, the Kenya Legal and Ethical Issues Network on HIV Kelin. The interested parties in this petition are the Kenya Obstetric and Gynecological Society and Katiba Institute. So let's get into what this petition is about. The petitioners in this case argue that there was lack of meaningful public participation. Schedule public participation. The policy prevents access to reproductive health services to all children. The policy also excludes young women and girls under the age of 18 from accessing reproductive health services without parental consent. It also limits cervical cancer screening to women over 25 years. This policy excludes young women below the age of 21 from accessing reproductive health services on the basis that they have not attained full cognitive competence on matters sexuality and reproduction. Yes, I'll give you a minute to think about this. The policy also contains language that is geared towards married couples. What happens to the unmarried people? This policy also grants the Director General of Health excessive authority to vet reproductive health research. The petitioners argue that these issues collectively violate the constitutional right to the highest attainable standard of health and discriminate against specific groups without reasonable justification. The petitioners, alongside the interested parties, remain committed in advocating for revised and inclusive reproductive health policy and will return to the Milimani courts on the 29th of January to push for justice and ensure that the Ministry of Health is held accountable. Now you know. For more information, visit www.kelinkenya.org. #RejectRH policy.